Another day of free agency, another quiet day from the Golden State Warriors. Ever since the Draymond Green signing this past Friday, Golden State only made one more additional signing where they landed veteran point guard Corey Joseph on a one-year veteran minimum deal. Of course, this isn't what we were expecting because the Warriors still desperately need frontcourt help, no matter if it's a stretch big or a traditional center. Now, I've been reading your guys' comments under my videos and my community tab, and I think it's fair to say that every single Warriors fan expects the team to sign more players in their frontcourt room. But despite such glaring needs, our GM Mike Dolan Jr. still hasn't made a single signing yet. So let's dig a little bit more into that regard. I'm not even going to focus on forwards here because at this point you can make an argument that Golden State has enough at the forward position. But I'm going to focus completely this video on the center position, since behind Kevon Looney, there is currently nobody on this team that is a true center. Matter of fact, Kevon Looney doesn't even have the size of a true center either, which further shows how lacking this Warriors team is at the center position. In today's video, we'll be going over a few free agent centers the Warriors can sign on veteran minimum contract to improve their front court. So without further ado, let's roll the intro.
Hi. I'm on my match in the dark. 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 I'm on my match in the
Yo, what's up guys, Jason's here back with another video. If it's the first time watching, I mostly cover news and reports for the Golden State Warriors, but we also occasionally make content for every other team in the league. So if you want the latest basketball news and rumors in your feed, all you gotta do is to leave a like and subscribe so that you won't miss any of my future upload. Now, a few days ago, I made a video talking about 5 free agents Golden State should sign, but unfortunately, none of that happened. Jay Crowder signed with the Bucks, Utah Watanabe signed with the Suns, Andre Drummond returned with the Bulls, Thomas Bryant signed with the Heat, and Dario Saric still remains as a question mark despite the rumors he's having with the Warriors. And after seeing all these free agents slipping away, it's time we update our list really quick. But like I mentioned before, this video is going to be all about centers. Now, one thing I want to remind you guys is that this video is a pretty tough one for me to make, and you will see exactly why. Starting off, I have a former Warrior here, DeMarcus Cousins. To be honest, I still don't quite understand why he doesn't get much opportunity in the NBA because every single time I watch him play, he's proving to me that he has a lot of gas left in his tank. Cousins last played for the Nuggets 2 years ago, and despite extremely limited playing time, he was beyond efficient. While playing only about 14 minutes per game, Cousins was averaging 8.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game, while shooting 32.4% from behind the arc. Now, what makes DeMarcus Cousins stood out to me is also his previous run with the Warriors back in 2019, and his performance shows us that he can fit into this Warriors system at a high level. That year with Golden State, Cousins was averaging 16.3 points, 8.2 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks per game. So he is basically the definition of a well-rounded center, and I feel like after that year, Golden State never really had that kind of production from the center position. Now, because the demand for Cousins is very low right now, it's a guarantee that the Warriors can bring him back in on a one-year cheap deal. Some might argue after the ACL injury, Cousins is not what it used to be. But honestly speaking, that's totally fine because all Golden State wants from Cousins is solid contribution from the bench. You look at his last 3 years with the Rockets, the Clippers, the Bucks, and the Nuggets, he's giving you 8+ points and 5+ rebounds every single game basically. I mean, sure, he can be a liability on the defensive end, but that's fine as well because like we said before, all Golden State needs from Cousins is to come into play 15 to 18 minutes per game and maintain scoring and protect the glass. So I don't see why the team shouldn't consider giving Cousins a deal. Moving on, number 2 on my list here is Montrezl Harrell, another physical freak in the paint. This is a 29-year-old center-stretch power forward who brings a lot of energy on the court. This past season, he had somewhat a down year with the Sixers because of limited playing time and was only averaging 5.6 points and 2.8 rebounds. But if we take a look at his previous seasons, he's a guy that can easily give you a 10+5 every single night. Now, you guys get the point I'm making here. Golden State doesn't need an elite center that does it all, but rather somebody that brings in paint presence and can play backup for Kevon Looney. 2 years ago, we had Nemanja Bjelica, and this past year we had Jermichael Green, so we still need at least one more big. And now in terms of Montrezl Harrell, he fits with the Warriors' financial situation because after this down season, he'll likely agree to a 1-year veteran deal to prove his worth again. Note here, Montrezl Harrell opted out of his last year on his contract with the Sixers, and I think that's a great sign that he wants a fair start with the contender, and the fact that he's aware that he might get a smaller deal is a good sign for the Warriors to pursue him. Now, one last thing I have to mention here about Montrezl Harrell is his finesse. He's a physical player, but has a very soft touch and runs the floor hard, so he already fits with the Warriors want in their front court. With him and Chris Paul together, that pick and roll game is something to watch for. But the downside that comes with Harrell is his defense. I mean, sure he gives you all the effort, but he's only 6'7", so you would expect him to play like a Kevon Looney, which is totally fine. So if the Warriors were to make this signing, they might still have to sign one more center to upgrade at their front court. Next up, we have Mo Bamba, who last night played for the Lakers. Now, Los Angeles waived him a few days ago to save cap room, so now he is a free agent. The big thing about Bamba right now is his age. He is only 25 years old, so he has a lot of room for growth. Coming out of the draft, Mo Bamba has such high hopes, but truth be told, he never reached his potential. And after getting traded to the Lakers this past year, he barely got to play. While playing less than 10 minutes per game, he was averaging 3.7 points and 4.6 rebounds per game, while shooting above 31% from behind the arc. Now, because of such limited playing time, his number can be a bit off, especially when it comes to shooting. Since across his years with the Magic, especially these past few seasons, he's easily a 38% 3-point shooter. Now, Mo Bamba is 7 foot, so I can see the Warriors trying to see if it can become what James Wiseman was hoped to do. Of course, Mo isn't the best option right now for Golden State because there's still a few veterans out there, but like we mentioned, given Golden State's cap room and spending situation, there isn't a lot of choice here. I think a big reason why Golden State has been quiet is because they have to wait and see who is left there after the first wave of free agency, because we all know Golden State cannot outbid anybody. Nonetheless, Mo Bamba might be the one left out because it's been 4 days since free agency opened and he still remains unsigned. Regardless, Mo Bamba is a physical paint presence who can address the Warriors' lack of size. And like I mentioned, he's a guy that can shoot from behind the arc, which is much needed for this Warriors offense. If Golden State were to make this signing and develop him properly, the team can definitely bring him back next offseason, as Golden State will be able to offload Chris Paul's contract easily, and that will save us a lot of cap room. Now, the last guy I want to talk about today is Willie Cauley-Stein, who also played for the Warriors for half a season. This is another 7-footer who is a good rim protector. He's very athletic for his size and runs the floor extremely well. Plus, he's also a lob threat, which will complement with Chris Paul nicely. Now, the year he played with the Warriors, he was averaging 7.9 points, 6.2 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game. Golden State had a very flawed roster that year, so the fact that he puts in that kind of production is promising. Imagine him now playing with the loaded guard room from the Warriors here. You got Steph, Clay, CP3, and so on. He can become even more productive on the court. Now, these past few seasons, he's barely getting any playing time because of limited roles, meaning he is one more player that likely will have no demand from teams among the league, so Golden State can easily bring him in on a veteran minimum deal. Now, he sure has a bunch of fascinating physical traits. His offense is very limited. This is a very inconsistent shooter, and his skill sets and touch are a bit rough, so if the Warriors were to sign him, a lot of additional works have to be done because that might not be it. Now, remember I said earlier in the video that this one's tough to make, and here's why. Looking at the remaining free agent centers, it took me very long to pick out a few that have a higher chance of fitting in with the Warriors. Honestly, it's very sad to see this Golden State Warriors team right now where they put themselves at a bad position because they're aware of the problem they have at the center position and yet cannot address it during free agency because of poor cap room situation and lack of development they have at the center position within the team. But again, there's nothing we can do right now but to see what the front office will do, no matter if it's through free agency or before the trade deadline next season, because right now, to be completely objective, this Warriors roster will not make it out of the Western Conference without more upgrades at the front court positions. Alright guys, that's all we got for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which one free agent do you want the Warriors to sign right now? And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media with all the links in the description box down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.